Are we rolling? Yes, we are. What's up, guys? It's your boy McKinley, Crain here, and today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free movie review of the 2017 short film Tears in the Rain. Now let's get into it. So, for those of you who don't already know, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't actually know that this fan film exists. Um, this is the film I'm reviewing today is a fan-made short film, and it's a fan-made Blade Runner film. It's not canon, of course, because it's fan-made. And it's like a tribute to the actual Blade Runner movies. And it was directed by Christopher Grant Harvey. Who I had never heard of until now, of course. And before I start actually reviewing this movie, I just need to put a disclaimer here that I had no part in making this film that I'm reviewing. I'm just reviewing it and sharing my thoughts on the film and telling you guys whether or not I liked it or not, or how much I liked it. I'm just reviewing the film. I did not make this film. I had no part in making this film at all. All the credit goes to Christopher Grant Harvey and whatever independent studio he worked with to make this film. I can't remember which one. A lot of the credit also goes to the actors in this movie. And once again, I had no part in making this film. I do not own this film. I'm not taking any credit for the making of this film or the distribution of this film. You're probably wondering why I'm having to say this in this video when I usually in my movie and TV reviews don't usually have to put a disclaimer. It's because this is not a very well-known film. Barely anybody knows about it, and it wasn't made by a big movie studio like Universal or Warner Brothers or Disney or something, or Columbia. So I feel like I have to put a disclaimer here, just in case anybody gets the wrong idea about what I'm saying here. I had no part in the making or distribution of this film. I'm just reviewing it. Yeah, so let's actually get into the spoiler-free review. This film stars Sean Cameron Michael. Hold on, I lost my place there for a second. As John Campbell, or however you pronounce his last name. And in this film, he's supposed to be a Blade Runner. So, he goes around hunting replicants. And if you guys don't know what replicants are, they're well, it depends. They're genetically modified, or in some cases genetically engineered human beings, where meaning that they just like took took some dude's semen or whatever and took like a lady's like ovaries or whatever and just like genetically modified like the DNA, their DNA, and like made it in a lab or whatever, kind of like the clones from Star Wars, but those are clones. These are like humans, but they're like genetically modified. They're like genetically modified to like usually only live to a certain time or year or whatever, and to have like certain abilities like that most humans don't really have. Like I don't mean like superpowers. I mean like like to just be like stronger than the average human or whatever, because a lot of like the replicants were like specifically made and born into like slavery. Not all of them, but a lot of them were in this universe. Well, technically, this isn't in the Blade Runner universe because it's not canon. It's a fan film, but it's like that for the actual Blade Runner universe, and this film's like a whole non-canon universe. Some replicants are like these cyborg things, like humans with like some robotic body parts or whatever. It's like, so they're like androids or whatever. But it's basically what a lot of replicants are. And in Blade Runner. In case you're wondering, yes, I have seen Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049 and the three official like canon short films, canon Blade Runner short films, and I'm a huge fan of Blade Runner. Ever since I first saw like 2049, I was instantly in love with the series. I saw 2049 before I saw the original actually. I don't know why. I just decided to like see it before the original. I saw the original. Anyway, I like the original a little bit better, just to be honest. But they're all perfect movies. Well, the official ones are. Um, and like me being a fan of Blade Runner is what made me want to watch this fan-made short film. Um, and This short film, although not perfect, was incredible. Was great. It was great and it was amazing and it was much better than I expected it to be. There's a lot of strong acting that makes this short fan-made film even more gripping than it already was. Um, there's a lot of clever dialogue that makes this movie even better than it already was. The story is just wow. It's like the story is like you know John Kemp or whatever, however you pronounce his last name, is like like it's not like like a really complicated story or whatever. It's like in this short film he goes and like he's going to like basically interrogate a replicant that's supposed to expire and say, hey, you're a replicant, um and it's time for you to expire, whatever. And yeah, he shouldn't have been doing that. That's like the whole point. Like it's supposed to be unethical or whatever. Um, and these two characters are when they're having like like a conversation. It's just so gripping, and their dialogue is just awesome and incredible, and just very well written. I was impressed with this film. I was impressed with everything about this film. The CGI is great and it's incredible. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Um, it looks a little animated, if you know what I mean. But you know, it's still great CGI. I mean, obviously, this guy didn't have like. When I say this guy, I mean the director, Mr. Harvey or whatever, like Christopher Grant Harvey. Like, obviously, he didn't have a very big budget. This is a fan-made film. But you know, whatever budget he did have, he used very well, and I was impressed with the special effects in this film, with the costumes in this film, like with the soundtrack. Like, you know, it was so faithful to, like, you know, the other Blade Runner films. Like this, even the soundtrack was not only was like the film like overall like very faithful to the actual Blade Runner movies, like even this short film's soundtrack was faithful, and you know that's incredible. That's awesome. And this film was just awesome. It blew me away. Once again, it's not perfect, unlike the other Blade Runner movies, but it's still great. It's one of the best fan-made films I've ever seen. Um, and once again, I did not make this film. I had no part in the making of this film or the distribution of this film. I'm just reviewing it. And I would definitely recommend this film. The director, actually, since this is a short film, and you know, like, it didn't have a very big budget. The director posted this short film that I'm reviewing on YouTube for free, legally, of course, because you know he's the director. He owns all the rights to, you know, his film. So like, you know, if he wanted to make it free, that wouldn't be illegal. So I'm gonna provide a link to, you know, like his short film in, like, you know, the description. And if you want to watch, you know, the short film that I'm reviewing, I would definitely recommend that you should. And it's, you know, links in the description. And go subscribe to his channel while you're at it, if you like the short film. Because, you know, like, I see a lot of potential in this guy, and I know I'm not the first person to ever have said that about this guy. Like, in the comment section, there were like, you know, like a whole bunch of people like saying, "Oh, you should make more films. You should make, like, you know, like full-length feature films or whatever." And you know, I totally agree with that. I was impressed. This guy should be making like full-length feature films and more short films, and you know, he deserves more attention than he has. Which is why you should go, like, you know, check out this short film that I'm reviewing, and check out his channel. Anyway, I'm gonna give this short film, well, this film, or meaning Tears in the Rain 2017, an 88% out of 100%, which is the equivalent of an A-. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.